Hey y'all, this is Jeff at Jeff's Vegetable Garden and Containers, and outside landscaping slash, all that good stuff. I'm going to give you a little update on the garden. You remember we planted some potatoes like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks ago, whatever. And you can see they're all coming up here real good in all the barrels. Got one barrel back there that hasn't come up yet, but even the smaller barrels are coming up right now, so they're really doing real good right now. See the cauliflower is really going crazy. Not much luck normally with this in Florida and this southwest region of Florida, but right now I got one, two, three, four, five of them, big ones coming up. So they look like they're pretty good as long as I don't get really nailed out here with anything. And it looks like I think I got to worry about coming up really right now is that big freeze warning. They're coming up for New Year's, so we'll see. But I'll be prepared if I need to cover them up. More tomatoes. These are the paste tomatoes. I can't Romas right here. So they're really starting to come up into a good position. The peppers are doing right. You can see with a little bit of cool weather here and there, the potatoes are getting affected just a little bit. So I did peppers. So peppers are getting a little affected. So I'm getting the green back and everything because I bone mealed everything. So the color's coming back. I had a little blood meal. So we're really good shape. These two peppers look like they got some spotting on them, but I'll get them off soon because I've had too many recent picks. Any of these buckets you see that are empty now, I pulled some plants out of the different ones, and they've all now been seeded with patty pan squash, regular squash, cucumbers, peas, and there's a little bucket back there with peas back there that I did too, so they'll all be coming up soon. I just decided the ones I had in there were so old that I was getting this pepper I trimmed way back. You see the white flowers coming on it right in there now. So that one's really going to come back in full force. And that pepper in there I also trimmed back. They were all at least 2 to 3 foot higher than that. And this one here, see how it's kind of dead in the middle and then starting to flower leaf at the bottom. I'm going to have to take the leaves off the bottom. I'm going to trim that one back after I get these last couple of peppers off of it. These are those habanero peppers. They normally like brighten up real yellow, just like this one's starting to back there. You can see one kind of in there brightening up, but this one kind of took a big hit with some of the weather we had. Because as you know, down here in Florida, we're in a drought. And when I say drought, we ain't had rain in 2.5 months. Not even a drop. They're kind of water rationing. You got to water at certain times, but just starting to come back. You can see the color starting to come back in the leaves. So I'm pretty happy with where that is. That's the eggplant I trimmed way back. It looked like it was like a bald cypress or something, but you can see it leafing now. I trimmed it way back because it just was affected by too many different variables, and it had produced a crazy amount of eggplant this year. So I just kind of trimmed it way back. Got another zucchini coming in here. Oop, look at that. That pepper fell off here. I have to keep that one. It's not bad. But this is really flowering real nice in here. So we'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, I hear you. I had a chance to bring her out. She wouldn't come out. This one I think I pulled out and put some more cucumbers in here. I noticed down here a lot, but I've noticed it up north in the last few years too. I trimmed this one back. You can see this cucumber flowering there starting to come back, but it looks real raggedy, and I pull the leaves off it and everything every day, and looks like it's just not going to make it and eat no matter what I do with it. So it's kind of one of those uh-oh, the hell's going on kind of things. Now these blonde peppers, they're a little bit out of form, But they are coming back with this plant here, which I trimmed way back also, uh, was heavy producer this year. Another jalapeno in here, and it's got quite a few on there, but they're still growing out a little bit more. These Itsubitsis or Mitsubitsis, whatever these peppers are called. Ichiban, not Ichiban, I can't think what they're called right now, but got a lot of these I pulled off. She's already used them, and we've used them to cook and on a lot of projects that she's made. You can see one there, that one starts getting red. But they're now coming back. This eggplant was going to crapola, but you can see now, I've got it here, but you can see where I just took the tops, just flush trimmed them off, took everything off the lower root down here, off the main stump, and it's really starting to come back again. You can see this one grew up out of the dirt, which I'll leave in because it's out of the dirt off the very bottom Y. But I trimmed it back to nothing, and in 2 weeks it's starting to really kick. And you can see the jalapenos back on that bush back in there. There's just tons of them. But there are some at full size. There's one that turned a little red here. I'll take off. I'll get one of these bigger ones. I'll show you. But it's not fully sized yet. But there's some more of them jalapenos. They're just coming back again. You can see the banana peppers here. And the banana peppers are starting to come back in. But everything here, nice one over here. You can see this one. See that banana? I'll just take that one off. Well, I'm leaving it on because it's still sticking pretty good. And a pepper there. This is a bell here, and this one really took a hit in the wind one night. Snapped it off, but I trimmed it back. I got to trim it a little better. I got to get these cut down on an angle and a little closer to the Ys, and then it'll start to expand. But you can see the peppers, real little peppers starting to come in right down there. So it's all right. I just got to trim it up just a little bit. This is another eggplant. This is the biggest producing eggplant I think I've ever had. I kind of took a big hit in the weather. You can see a couple of yellow leaves on them. They fall off pretty easy. But I expected to make a full comeback after I got rid of so much of the stuff off. And I actually have this is a cherry tomato growing up over 3 baskets over. It's just going crazy. And see if I can see back through there a little bit, but you can see it. Come on, boy. You see those cherry tomatoes right back in there hanging on that one. The backside, there's more sun on that side of the trail are really starting to come in, which will make my wife happy because we tomatoes do okay in Florida, but they're not the greatest thing. And these cherries and the rumors really do well down here for me. These are some onions we put in the other day. I think I got 8 or 9 in that barrel, bigger barrel to give them room to grow. Once you see the other pepper coming up there, potatoes, something different. There's the onions in that one. Put some fresh onions in there to get that one going. I still have more from my batch I had. This is the pea bucket that I can show you. But you can see I have to adapt. You can see those cherries back in there. See they're all coming in and up and higher, so it'll make her real happy because she's into that. And there's, I don't need them, but she just gets in there and goes crazy on the cherry tomatoes. So right now it's still considering the cooler nights, still nice days every day, nice and warm. I got no complaints about the weather here at all. It's just, it's just keeping back and up and down and keeping them balanced so they'll grow. And right now I'm getting a good, not as big a harvest, but I'm still getting average size harvest out of here. Normally once a week, maybe twice, and then once this weather, got this cold front to go through this weekend, and then like right now standing out here, if you stand still and the sun beating on you, it feels like it's about 85 or 90. I know it's not, it's probably about 75 to 80, but you stand right in that sun hitting on you, it's hot. But it's a great thing, it's much better than being cold. Now you can see the desert roses starting to come back up. Real good again. It's doing some work to it. These plants kind of all looked dead. And for all and a half, I was going to get rid of these 2 bushes here, but they dug a little bit up and fertilized them. They're coming back nice again. You can see the strawberries and mint are going pretty good. I did have some strawberries on there, but I don't know if the animals got them or my wife had them over here, but there was only a couple on there. And it sits right up against this white wall. It's not hot, but these tubes, like right now, it's maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And these tubes are just hot, even though I water them like every other day. But we'll see how it goes. I put some more spearmint in. Already have peppermint in here, and then we got the basil. And here, this broccoli's just hanging in there and just doing everything it has to do to keep going. There's a couple of leaves on it hurting, but I watered quite a bit. That broccoli looked like it was dead that small one there, and it came back. And these 2, I only left them in there because these 2 looked like that at first. And I think they were going to make it, and out of nowhere, you see the size of that trunk coming up on that broccoli. It's just amazing how it just went from where it was to hurting and then coming back. All the plants I put in, some from the neighbors, some from the wild, are all really doing good back in here right now. That one I just found on the edge of the woods the other day and put it in. It's doing real good. It's a palm. And you can see this blueberry. She's ready to just go crazy with blueberries coming off. The raspberries coming up good. So everything's looking pretty daggone good as far as vegetables. Like I said, I planted a bunch of seeds for other stuff, and oh, here's one. Look, there's a papaya. I just put that in. It was at Lowe's. Normally papayas that are decent are anywhere from smaller ones 18 up to like 35, 40, depending on what you're doing. It's real big. It's a lot more, but I popped that one in. That was in a small pot. It's grown already. And I'm going to put them right in the ground down here. I've already got 2 papayas growing in the yard, but when they're half price, I can always use another one. So I wasn't sure where I was going to put it. Plus, I wanted to just try it while the weather's not extremely hot in the pot. It's my type of soil, just to see how it reacts. And it's only 2 days old, so putting it in, so I got to give it a little time to test it out. But I think it'll be fine. But eventually, she'll grow in the ground, and everything else we've got in here is just fucking great. I mean, it's really positive feedback that we give you on everything we got going on down here right now. So next thing I'll be seeing what comes up out of these seeded pots that I seeded, and see how they respond to the weather. And I know the point I had earlier was about squash, cucumbers, zucchini, you name it. I haven't changed anything in my way of doing things as far as planting or mixtures or anything like that. I've been doing this, I don't know, 20 years. I only started doing the recordings on it maybe 7 to 10 years ago. But I've been planting forever and had good success with just about everything. And no matter if it's landscaping stuff, flowers, or vegetables. But I'm a little leery the last couple of years because it just seems like to me that the squashes, the zucchinis, forgetting one right now. Cucumbers and stuff like that. You can see the palms really gotta take that one bad arm branch off, but everything else is growing real good right now. It's looking good in the yard. I think there's this yard that was purely green, flourishing, looking good, and I had my sprinkler system tied and the timers when I wasn't here. Since there's a water shortage, they don't want you washing your cars right now. Excuse me, washing your cars or watering your yard. So right now, I've strayed away from it. I do go around hand water with the hose, my plants, and then I have some timers and hoses that I run that off of, but I try not to go past it, because you go by the overflow ditches or anything down here, everything's down to just such a low level of water, and they're already rationing. I couldn't imagine what it would be if people didn't cut back like they're supposed to. I forget what this purplish bush is called, but above that eye, leaf trellis for it, and it didn't do much in the first year or two it was in, and then it just came back out of nowhere and just went absolutely crazy. And now I'm trying to train it and get it straighter, because it was all over. It was jumping into all the bushes. It was going everywhere, so I had to get it bent up and moved around. We still got 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Probably still another 8 to 10 lemons on there. We just picked one. Two last week that we had on here. They're starting to get a little bit of scale on them, and at our season. But you see, there's starting right there, them green. There's one back in there that's almost right in the middle of the tree. So there's still quite a few on here. We're just gonna keep picking them as they're going, and then once I get to that point, try and know they're not growing anymore, and we're at a different point, I'll trim this way back like I do all my fruit trees once they get maturity with them, so they'll keep producing at a real good rate all year round. But otherwise, I mean, even though it's a drought, and I'm not using sprinklers or wasting water, nothing like that, it's still just got to keep up with it. And like I said, most of the watering, my fruit trees and the newer shrubs and stuff like that, they get watered maybe once a week, and not heavily like they're used to, just enough to keep them going nice and neat until hopefully summer. You never would have said this for the last 4 or 5 years, especially last year with 5 hurricanes down here. Oh man, we need water, but kind of compare to a place like my wife said sometimes, to Arizona. So it's like it's a tropical forest down here from like late May or mid-May to late May to through September and October, depending on the storm season normally, and then after that it's a drought and never rains down here in the winter. So coming down here for years, it just never rained. Just towards the end of the spring season, going right into summer, starts a little bit, and then once you get in summer, normally it's almost every day. You can work outside, it's hot and humid, you always seem to get a shower almost every day. This past summer, people who were down here full time, our neighbors and people we know, told us even this summer they're so used to getting them heavy rainstorms and getting them on a daily basis. They weren't getting them this year, so, and since there was no hurricanes, there was nothing really in the Gulf this year, they just weren't getting it. So it's been a good year-long drought, and we'll just keep working with it. I'm not going to complain. We'll just keep going the best we can and moving on with stuff. But like I said, you can have the opposite side of it too, where you got the hurricanes with 140, 50 mile an hour winds seems like every 2 weeks when we're down here sometimes, and they're tearing everything up, and then you got too much water and things are blowing over and ripping up. So, but that's Florida. That's what I like about Florida. It's just got a lot of craziness to it. So if anybody's got any ideas with the point I got back to earlier, I was trying to get to, is my cucumber, zucchini, and squashes and stuff. Up north, they seem to do a little better, but even up there over the last few years, I've been getting big bushes and using stuff to fruit them and trimming them, and don't get me wrong, I'm still getting stuff, but years ago, zucchini just was like, you put 2 zucchini plants in, you couldn't keep up with it, and you'd have to freeze them, cut them, freeze them, make zucchini, but you just couldn't they would come off by, it seemed like the thousands. And cucumbers were the same way. And squash, once they got going, was just like, bam. The yellow squash I haven't really had an issue with, but all the other types, patty pan and yellow squash I've been good with, but the other squashes, striped zucchini's not too bad, but most of the other ones that are just the plain Jane varieties have really struggled in my gardens in the last few years where they did before. So I don't know if it's a seed environment that's changing or something, or changing in the way they produce the seeds and get them to you, or it's a bad string of seeds, or because the watering, overwatering, underwatering, and stuff I've used on for years has not changed at all. And don't get me wrong, I still get production, but it just seems that the window for growing them, and it might be because you start off, it seems like by the time we get to June, it's lukewarm. By the time you hit end June, it's scorching hot. July is crazy, and then you get into August, it seems to get cooler. And September it warms up a little bit, and then October you're cold again. But it just seems that extreme hot weather we've been getting over the last couple of years, just in that month of July, seems to really affect them. And I'm thinking that might be why. And then once they get hit by that heavy heat up north or down here, that they just can't recover and produce the way they used to. But if anybody's got any ideas, and they've been saying the same thing, because most of the gardeners I talked to are saying the same thing. They're not getting the cucumbers, zucchini. I mean, they'll all grow good, they'll look good, they'll flower, and you'll start getting them. You're like, wow, here we go, and you'll just start knocking them out. And then once you start knocking them out, especially like in early June, because you're going to put them in late April up there. Down here, you can put them in any time, really. And once they start, getting up, flowering, and looking good, and the plants look green, you keep them watered, you're like, wow. And then all of a sudden, you see the flowers come up on them. Before you know it, you're out there every day. You're like, God, I just picked 10 of them yesterday. Man, you can't keep up with them because there's so many. And I've actually overplanted and put more plants and bushes in the last few years, and kept them away from each other a little bit just to let them produce, and that's helped with the productivity. But overall, they all struggle a little bit. So, anybody's got any idea with them or heard anything about why those types of vegetables are struggling in recent years? I've researched it, and you hear all the different experts out there, that make comments. It's not that; it's the people who deliver seeds and buy the plants and everything you get from them, or whatever you do with them. They're not admitting anything. They're like, it's just this. I think weather does have something to do with it, but I think it also has something to do with the seeds as they're coming from plants that aren't doing that well. And I just got to get it figured out a little better, or I've tried different brands. Some work better, but those special brands, you only get in, maybe use them once or twice, and they seem to get affected. So, all right, like I said, I'm going to get out of here now. Hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. Go Eagles, because we're playing a build today, and hopefully we kick their ass, stay hot, and going to get out of here. And I got some more work to do up here around the house and get done. And I've got to get a short sleeve shirt on, because it is getting cooking out here. For you people up north, I'll say, I like that cold weather, it's refreshing. I worked in it forever, it sucks. And this is beautiful. Alright guys, have a great rest of your weekend. Don't forget to join our page, like, subscribe, share our videos, and do whatever, and that's what keeps us all going. And we'll talk to you later. See you guys. Bye.